Yo, what is happening? What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Oh, yo. We're in an old retro feel today. I'm just joking. It's the holiday fucking season, y'all. And today is December 15th, 2024, the year of our Lord, the year of the dragon.
The Ultimo Dragon.
Skipping over. The Ultimo Dragon. I forgot we added that last week.
That's
the
right.
Ultimo Dragon. Yeah. What is the year next year? I have to look at the Chinese calendar of what.
Good question. Let's find out. Here, let's see.
Okay.
Year of 2025, China. Zodiac. Let's see. Year 2025 will be the snake of the
Jake the Snake.
Yes. Beautiful. Right.
Good evening. Anyways, we're in the holiday spirit. And today we're going to be talking about this last week in wrestling. We're going to go over Saturday Night Main Event. We're going to hit on that. We're going to go into today in wrestling history like we do every week. And we're going to close up our show with the same thing we were doing last week, which is we're going to go over our award system for the end of the year. Not that we are anybody important, but we like to enjoy. We like to enjoy wrestling and talk about what we feel is going to happen later, what happened in this past year. And then we're going to go into bold predictions for next year. And I have a feeling there's going to be some hot takes in this shit.
Yes.
I have a feeling. But to my right, we got JR.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Fusion dance right there.
Yeah. And what's going on, Ryan? We got Ryan up in the building.
What's up, Ryan?
Up in the house. Rocking the Santa Claus hat over here. We're waiting on Chris. Chris is having a few technical difficulties, but TK and Y2J love the rooster. And we're just waiting on it to load. Yep. We'll wait for his camera to come back on. But anyways, before we there he is. There's the man of the hour, Chris Milson. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
Am I lagging like really bad?
No, nope. Just a little bit.
My computer does not like StreamYard.
It doesn't. And you know what? In the new year, we're going to be moving to a different streaming service. But for right now, we got StreamYard to work too. Anyways, we're going to start off. JR, how was your week?
Week was good. Spent my last bit of vacation this week. Went to the condo a couple of times to do some cleaning. As tips given by my folks. So literally I had to do a bit of cleaning and then do some organizing a bit. Had my first of many visits to IKEA this week. So it's right near the apartment. So it's literally I'll be there for a few times there. But yeah, no, it's good.
Congrats again on the podcast on the apartment, man.
Yeah, it's getting there. It'll be probably ready I'll be probably moved in by the start of the new year or middle of new year. But it takes time. We have a lot of time, so it's no big deal there. But yeah, and then Friday I had work, but it was pretty smooth for the most part. And then week has been good so far. It's finally started some Christmas shopping, thank God. So I got a few people off my list there. Got to finish it off this week. And yeah, other than that, wrestling has been cool this week, especially Saturday's night's main event, which is a solid show.
Yeah.
Get to that.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, pretty good. Thanks.
Awesome. Chris, brother, man, how was your week?
So the week itself, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty hell. Was not a good week. Friday, I got the person who was staying at my house finally out. They took advantage of me trying to to look out for them and trashed my house. So had to get them out on Friday, thankfully. Or wait, no, Thursday they left Thursday. I think Thursday or Friday. I don't know. It's a blur. Yes, it was Friday. Sorry. Saturday, we did the panel. The panel was great. The people there were awesome, and as always, thank you for sharing your story, Sean.
Anytime.
And thank you for everything that you do and have done. Yeah. Wrestling show was pretty solid last night. Of course, we're seeing everybody have a meltdown because, of course. Other than that, it's pretty good. There is one thing that I kind of wanted to call out because it's kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember the rumors of Okada, coming to WWE before he signed to AEW, right?
Yeah,
and how the plan was for him to go to Chase U, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, he should go to AEW because he's worth more than that." He had a match with a fucking guy who pretends to be a bull on Trainwreck last night.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I genuinely hope that is one of the worst rated shows. Honest to God.
In front of the tens and tens of their fans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 1%.
And the tens.
God.
How was your week?
My week was all right, man. Did the panel yesterday. I had an oddly busy week, and it was all just like bunched up. I had an appointment on Friday at the VA about an hour away. Thursday, I don't remember what I did. I found out that I got my results for my upper GI that I had done in 2021 that they didn't fucking tell me about. Apparently, I have a hernia, and apparently I have gastritis. So there was that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that was fun to find out. And just, these last 3 years, nobody's done a fucking thing about it, even though it's been sitting in my file. I literally had to ask them and say, hey, look, I had upper GI done, and I still have heartburn. What the fuck is going on? And they're like, oh, we got your results right here. I'm like, why is this now coming up? Like, why do I have to fight and bring it up? Your job as a doctor are to read my fucking files. You know what I mean? So they prescribed me medication that I'm already taking. And they're like, take this for 6 months and we'll come see you again in 6 months. And I was like, I'm already taking this. I've been taking this for about 3 years now and it's not working. So, just bullshit from the VA. It's not, it is what it is. Yeah, man, just gearing up for Christmas. Yesterday we had our panel. Chris was there. I had a great time. It was a great experience. Very fun. I switched out my picture of Alexa Bliss right here because I didn't want to offend anybody, so I put up Danhausen.
Now I'm offended.
Who would you offend with Alexa, man?
Well, you know what? Yeah. Anyways, I'm gearing up for Christmas, man. I cleaned the house today, and just this next week is steamroll ahead up until Christmas the following week, where my daughter is going to be in town, so I'm really excited about that. She's going to get to spend a week with me. Yeah, so yeah, man, I'm excited. Aside from that, man, just kicking it old school, which is what we did last night. But before we get into wrestling or into this week's events, JR, you want to take it away with today in wrestling history?
Absolutely, we have
Liz Cheeky.
Interesting one here for December 15th, as it always is with this day in wrestling. So let me get that going here. Yeah, the old Triple H there with HBK there, with also the Nate there on the screen there, as always. So let's get going here. We'll start with 1963. Rico Dozan, I hope I pronounced that correctly, one of the most famous stars in the history of Japanese wrestling, died at the age of 38 following an infection brought about by a stabbing by a Yakuza gang member a week earlier. Right. That's an interesting way to start this day here. In the finals, 1977, in the finals of the first All Japan Pro Wrestling Rio World Tag League tournament, Dory and Terry Funk defeated the Sheik and Abdullah the Butcher in what is considered one of the greatest matches to take place in Tokyo, Japan. Not a match with Will Ospreay, of course.
You mean Sugar Shane?
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
No,
that's
it's bruv.
It's bruv.
Bruv. That's right. Bruv. That's right. But Blair Davenport's ex. That is, I call it. But anyway.
That still blows my mind.
Yeah, I know. Well, she upgraded, obviously. But anyways. 1987, the second ever Slammy Awards took place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Great city. I love Atlantic City. Rather than the awards themselves, the event is best remembered for Vince McMahon's cringe-some performance of Stand Back live on stage. Remember Jericho and Era 404 giving a little bit of a rag to him when they had the rivalry with Austin back in 2001?
Yeah.
1995, at the Calgary Corral, the home base of Stampede Wrestling, an all-star card paying tribute to the late Stu Hart, patriarch of the Stampede, took place. The main event saw WWF champion Bret Hart face fellow Calgary alumni, the late British Bulldog. Do you remember they had a match in December as well that year, in your house? And speaking of in your house, the following year, 1996, In Your House, It's Time took place at the West Palm Beach Auditorium in West Palm Beach, Florida. No titles changed hands. In the main event, WWF champion Psycho Sid defeated Bret the Hitman Hart. Other matches I remember that were in there was British Bulldog and Owen Hart facing the fake Razor and the fake Diesel for the tag titles. And then also the Undertaker facing off against the Executioner in basically it was essentially a last man standing match, which the Undertaker won, of course. 1997.
At all.
Yeah, I know.
Just imagine if Undertaker would have lost, like the trajectory of his career would have changed.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to think about it now.
The phenom changes from the Undertaker to the Executioner.
Nah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. In 1997, in Charlotte, North Carolina, Bret the Hitman Hart made his first appearance on WCW television since signing for the company the previous month. His appearance on Nitro was to announce that Hart was going to be the special guest referee for the Starrcade match between Larry Zbyszko and Eazy-E Eric Bischoff later that month.
I remember that.
You remember, Larry Zbyszko won, Nitro stayed the same, and then Bret Hart saved what was the clusterfuck of a main event in Starrcade of that year, which probably we will get to at some point. 1997, Vince McMahon cut a pre-taped promo on Monday Night Raw that announced that WWE will be changing the creative direction away from clear-cut good guys and bad guys, will be showing more attitude, or more accurately, more attitude. This show will also saw the debut of the iconic Scratch logo. Show that, obviously.
That's one of my favorite WWE advertisements of all time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Before they did that get the F out thing. That was actually
I like that.
2000, ECW taped the final ever episode of Hardcore TV from Elks Lodge in Queens, New York. The Dudley Boys and Taz, though contracted with WWE at the time, returned to the promotion for one night only to mark the occasion. There you go. Perfect. 2001, Russ Haas, brother and tag team partner of former WWE superstar Charlie Haas, was found dead at his home just at the age of 27. Oh gosh, that's unfortunate. 2002, WWE Armageddon took place at the Home Depot Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Both of WWE's major titles changed hands for the second pay-per-view in a row. The WWE Championship was won by Kurt Angle after he defeated The Big Show. And in the main event, Triple H won back the World Heavyweight Championship he lost to Shawn Michaels a month earlier at the Survivor Series. And that was the infamous 3 Stages of Hell match. If I remember, I think one was one was a ladder match, and then another was a cage match.
Steel cage, and I believe Street Fight was the first one.
Yes. Oh, that was probably the first one. Yeah, you're right. Yes.
That was the one where Triple H lit the barbed wire 2x4 on fire.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, here. Oh, actually, you're correct here. So the match was a three stages of hell match with Triple H winning the first fall, street fight, and the third fall and final a ladder match. So the cage match was the second one. Yeah, that says here. Shawn Michaels won the second fall in a cage match, and then
that's by far my favorite feud of all time.
Yeah, that was a very personal and very very good feud between those two there. Yeah, definitely. That literally got you, wanted to watch more in this case here. And the fact that they were able to hold that for 2 years is quite interesting here. It was quite remarkable, actually, in this case. Also on the show, Booker T and Goldust won the World Tag Team Championships in a four-way elimination match from Lance Storm and William Regal, the Dudley Boys, and Chris Jericho and Christian.
Was that when Goldust had the stutter?
No, before
Dog, that was like the best version of Goldust.
It was yeah. So they had the titles. They won the titles. They lost it a month later. I believe they lost it to Batista and Ric Flair, I believe, and then they electrocuted Goldust, and then he went to the car back, that kind of thing. Yeah, that goal.
There was a wrestling history.
Oh man. And then Triple H and Ric Flair couldn't stop laughing on that one. I remember that promo. Yeah, that was a good one. 2013, WWE unified the top two titles for the first time since 2002 when World Heavyweight Champion Randy Orton defeated WWE Champion John Cena in the main event of TLC. The match itself was a TLC match. Let's go here. 2019, the same pay-per-view. From the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota in 2019, the main event, the Kabuki Warriors, that's Asuka and Kairi Sane, successfully defended the Women's Tag Team Championship against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair in a TLC match. If you remember, that was where Kairi Sane got that very serious injury, and Becky Lynch, as professional as she is, she rolled Kairi Sane under the ring, so then that way she couldn't get hurt any further, and Asuka was able to carry the match further and win the match.
You said the Bukkake Warriors?
Kabuki Warriors, man.
Oh, I thought you said Bukkake Warriors. I was like, man.
Pause.
Listen, this isn't Brazzers.
That's true. Yeah, it's in Brazzers.
Jesus.
In another TLC match, Roman Reigns took on King Happy Corbin. And if remember serves me correctly, that was the last time Roman got pinned until that Money in the Bank of 2023, where Jey Uso pinned Roman at that time. So there you go. Trivia there for those. If you have wrestling trivia, there you go. There's your trivia.
Some long-term storytelling.
Yep. 2021, an episode of Impact
I don't think anything ever came out of... Sorry, go ahead.
No. Wait, what? Anything came out of what? What's up?
Did anything ever come out of Jay beating Roman?
Not necessarily. Remember, they had that tribal combat match, which was above average on this case here. That's it, really. So, so that's basically what highlighted that match there at SummerSlam. That's why they made him pin him. So, but anyways. 2021, on an episode of Impact Wrestling, new AEW World Champion Kenny Omega attacked Rich Swann, and Impact executive Don Callis signed the match for Hard to Kill in January, where the Cleaner would face Impact World Champion Rich Swann. Also, more paid-for advertisements featuring the Cocaine Boy there and Tony Schiavone aired. That's where they so-called, where the Freakazoids say, oh, we raised Impact, to very good levels. No, you did not. You literally took them to the cleaners. You almost killed the company, exactly. Yeah, and they want to claim that they did a better job. No, you didn't, because you literally had them win one match that was like a tag match, and then technically, in this case here, you're saying Christian Cage won. Technically, he was side with AEW, so that's not also a TNA talent there. But
yeah, and they stole the TNA World Heavyweight Championship for how long?
Yeah, for like 3 months, and they didn't even. That's the thing that's bothers me, is the fact that they didn't have a TNA talent win it. They had an AEW talent who happened to be a former TNA talent win it. That's the they didn't have Moose win it. They didn't have Sammy Callahan win it. It's like they made them look like fools in this case.
In all fairness to the Moose thing, I don't think any mainstream company wants anything to do with him.
He's a loyal guy, though. It's a TNA, though. All right, so that's the events there. Notable birthdays. Rene Dupree, 1983, former World Tag Team Champion.
Oh, Rene.
Prime time.
All I can think of is
What?
The Rock burying him.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, and 1977, one of my favorites from WCW, Prime Time, Felix Skipper. Former tag team with Christopher Daniels. And we all remember that famous cage, whatchamacallit, that cage little
Hurricane Run.
Hurricane Run. Thank you. Trying to get the words there. And finally, Kendall Windham, 1967. And that is your day in wrestling for December 15th.
Nice. We had a bunch of stuff happen.
The only highlight I'll say out of that TNA AEW thing was the Good Brothers. I like their song, but that's about it.
The devil. Yeah, that was a good thing. They had a good thing. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. So Raw. We're going to move on and talk about Raw on Monday. This past Monday, Raw opened up with Gunther. I didn't think Gunther was going to open up Raw, but he did. And he came down and he started talking some shit to Finn. And Finn came down and pretty much they had a battle of words where Gunther was like, "You're not on my level. You're not." And so Judgment Day surrounded the ring. Then we got fucking Damian Priest. Like, I feel like, to me, I said this last night to the guy I was hanging out with. We were watching wrestling. I said, I like Damian Priest. I like his transformation from Punishment Martinez to Damian Priest. And I respect it, and I enjoy his body of work, but I don't want to see him with a heavyweight championship again. But
I was just going to say about David, because I know I've been harsh on the guy the last couple weeks. Out of everybody who has improved since he got up to the main roster, I think he's one of the most notable guys who has embraced that main event character.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I think he's in the same realm as Rhea Ripley for me, where it's too much at this point. There are so many guys and girls sitting in the back not being used. And we're just getting Rhea and Damian shoved on TV every single week. I'm not saying either one of them are bad talents, because they're not. But we're almost in 2025 and we're still using the same people that we're using in 2022.
Yep, absolutely. And so that led to a confrontation between Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Gunther, which ended up turning the World Heavyweight Championship match last night from a singles match to a triple threat.
I can't wait.
The segment ended with Judgment Day absolutely obliterating fucking Damian Priest. They put him in 3 or 4 different coup de grace. They fucked his shit up. So that was a really good segment. We also seen the New Day walking in from the back, and everybody just kind of gave him a side eye. Alpha Academy, Natalia, everybody. And they were just like, what the fuck? Like, what did we do wrong?
So
I really love these heels that are just like, they're justified. I think everybody except for KO is justified right now with how they're feeling.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me. Like I was saying to you guys the other day, Drew McIntyre is like at the top of my list of favorite heels right now because what whenever he's like, at least CM Punk took a bargain. I'm like, damn, bro. Okay, you're justified 100% here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next segment we had was the White Six versus the Final Testament. Really good fucking match. Really good match. I was hoping to see the White Six win. That was not the case. But still, nonetheless, really good fucking match. Really enjoyable.
I think Cross needed this win just for the fact that Paul has done nothing since the Final Testament has formed. AOP has done nothing since the Final Testament has been formed. So now that we're at a crossroads between the group because of Miz, Paul Ellering now gets to shine. Paul Ellering screwed over Uncle Howdy. So now we get possible darker promo segments between the two. Now we get to see if Cross can be brought down to his knees. Because he's been a background on top of the locker room character. He has turned every high profile wrestler heel or expose them for who they really are.
Yeah. Absolutely. And like Chris said, we had Paul Ellering return to throw some white substance. Could have been chalk, could have been flour, could have been cocaine into the face of Uncle Howdy. And Uncle Howdy got distracted, and we seen Karrion Kross pick up the dub. Much deserved win. But this feud isn't over. It's far from over. I feel
not by a long shot, especially when you said that, Ellering had to get his licks and all that. I just thought of something because I'm hoping I'm not correct on this because I've made predictions that sometimes it has come true. What if this leads to Cross versus Howdy in a lights out match at Royal Rumble?
I would be mad at that one damn bit.
You think that would be it? Yeah, because we remember how the other one
think it's
with LA Knight.
So the difference between the Bray Wyatt and LA Knight thing versus the Cross and Uncle Howdy thing is Bray kind of needed to solidify that character. Uncle Howdy's more or less established of where he's at. So I don't think they need to do a lights out match. What I think they should do, and I said it after the match, I think we should build up on pieces of the faction going against each other. We still got to get Nikki and Scarlett, assuming that's a direction. We still got to get AOP versus Joe Gacy and Dexter, if that's a direction. And, obviously the end goal is Cross and Howdy. I say we should keep that for WrestleMania.
Yep.
I hope they can stretch that out.
I would not. I don't know that I want to see it as a gimmick match, but I wouldn't be opposed to a gimmick match.
It's
if
not like I'm
a
opposed
gimmick
to it.
match.
Yeah.
If they do a gimmick match, I want to see them do, something like. See, I don't know what would be best for these two because it's they're both hard characters to pinpoint in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a last man standing match. You could do a steel cage match. I mean, they did Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt.
You could do a strap match. You could do a strap match with those two.
Or you could call it back to Bray Wyatt and do a Firefly Funhouse match or a match of that sort where it's cinematic, right? Because I feel like that match would have to be planned out in months in advance and go over it, right? Where it introduces another layer into the lore of the White Six.
Okay.
Maybe it could be some form of abandoned hospital or something like that.
Maybe.
Or whatever the direction was for Cross and Bray, whatever that direction was for that match to happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about a casket match? Or Buried Alive?
I wouldn't be mad with that at all.
Yeah.
Bro, Buried Alive would be sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Next up, we had CM Punk in a promo, and him and Jackie Redmond sat down and had a really great session. And Punk, it felt like, in a way, he was burying Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Like a minuscule amount of heel Punk came out,
the lines.
blurring the lines. He pretty much said, now that the fucking superstars here, the second string has to sit down on the bench, and like pretty much like I felt like that line was okay. He's pulled out that golden shovel that he talked about so much, and he pretty much said, back when I was in the Indies, Seth Rollins came to me to train him for free, and I did it for free. And that should say a lot about who I am as a person, right? Like, and now it's that dickhead heel side of Punk coming out, and that's blurring the lines too.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed that segment. That was a pretty fucking
My
awesome
favorite line of that whole promo was when he said that Seth Rollins was among the 10 that was going to get fired, but he shielded him. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
What a savage.
Oh, man.
God.
You gotta keep this till, Mania. This is like, you gotta have something with these two.
Yeah. They need to cross paths, but not fight in a fucking singles match. They need to cross paths, not in any kind of sanctioned match. Next, we had Dakota Kai and Liv Morgan, and in the singles match, and fucking really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man,
great chemistry.
I haven't always been a fan of Liv Morgan, but this woman has improved so much since coming back from her injury. Like fuck before she got injured. Since she came back from her injury, her presence, her in-ring ability, her mic skills, dude, even that annoying laugh, that shit, like it's good because it adds to her character.
You know who we can thank for her improvement in the ring again?
Who's that?
Natty.
Once
again, the dungeon. Yeah.
But we seen Pure Fusion Collective came out and fucking got in the middle of the match. They sucked the charisma out of the fucking place. Liv Morgan hit an Oblivion on Dakota Kai, and that was the end of the match. Yeah, next week
EO coming out.
Oh yeah, EO came out and
and took a disgusting Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She took a nasty Oblivion last night too. I was like, "Fuck, man, this girl out of that Oblivion."
Oh, she sold that really well. Yes.
And then we had a Drew McIntyre promo.
Oh,
Jesus fuck! Look. There's certain people that I feel need to retain their character, change it a little bit.
We don't
Drew is a natural heel.
Yes,
he went from the swordsman that is William Wallace to now this absolute fucking menace. And I am here for it. Absolute menace. And he said,
I never thought in a million years I'd be a Drew McIntyre fan.
Now you are.
This is Bret the Hitman Hart meets the devil, basically. You know what he is? I just thought of it now. He's Bret Hart meets Sean O'Hare, the devil's advocate.
Ooh.
Oh nice. My fucking God. That's too good.
In this promo, we actually got confirmation that it was Drew that took out Jey Uso. And he said he's not going to stop until everybody that was associated with Punk is eliminated or beaten.
I don't know, with Roman.
Okay, with Roman. Last night's match went as expected, but he did it in dominant fashion.
I don't think anybody expected it to go that way. I think everybody thought Sammy was going to win that.
Yeah. Yeah. So next we had Seth Rollins cut a promo in the ring where he pretty much dispelled everything that Punk said. So we don't know it's real. And then we had Sami Zayn come out. And Sami Zayn interrupted again and pretty much said, "This thing between you and Punk has brought out the worst in you." And so they were going back and forth, talking back and forth, and finally, after Sammy got done criticizing Seth, he was like, "But are we good though?" Like, dog, he literally metaphorically took a large dog shit on Seth's chest, and then was like, "Are you okay with that though?"
Yeah, it's like, or he basically said, "You know what? Go ahead. You do whatever you want to do with Punk. I'm not going to get involved anymore." Basically.
Yeah, but are we good?
It makes me wonder how the confrontation with KO is going to go, because out of everybody that KO is accusing of being a hypocrite, I don't think Cody is a hypocrite. I think everybody else that was on Team Roman, besides Jimmy, is a hypocrite.
Yeah, I agree. Right as I was wrapping up, Seth fucking turned around, walked out the ring. Sammy turned around, got Claymore again for his fucking trouble. So that when let's to clarify, when Seth walked out of the ring, Sammy was like, "Now I'm challenging fucking Drew McIntyre to a match, a Saturday Night Main Event," and then he got Claymore for his troubles. Yeah. And
did he get a Claymore, or did he get attacked at the end of the ramp? I thought he got attacked.
I think he just got
punched.
He just got punched.
He got attacked at the top of the ramp. Sorry. And then backstage, they caught Sammy attacking Drew, so that amped up the fucking everything. Next, we had a first round match up for the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. It was Lyra Valkyria versus Zelina Vega versus Ivy Nile. Woo! I'm not gonna lie, I did not pay attention to this match, but Lyra Valkyrie won.
Yep. Woo! She has a new chat now.
I think Lyra makes the most sense out of everybody in that match. While I wanted Zelina to win, I don't feel that Zelina has a lot of momentum behind her.
No.
For now.
And I don't feel like she has a lot of support behind her either. Like, as far as like people in the back.
I think she's got a lot of internet support, and I feel like there's a handful of people in the crowd. But my biggest thing is they need to do something with her that people give a shit about.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. She needs something. I would say, honestly, put her with Andrade. Let her loose from the LWO. I'm so... You disagree? Okay.
I only say that because what they're doing with Andrade right now, like currently, I think Zelina pairing with him would be a mistake.
Okay.
Because you're showing that, like, this is how I think of it. If you put Zelina with him, it shows that he can't stand without somebody behind him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I respect that. I respect it. I want her away from the LWO because the LWO is
same with Dragon
Yes. It went from something that was like a cool fucking concept, bringing back the LWO to like a novelty act or a nostalgia act, and that's just
what killed it.
What's up?
It was the Legato feud.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's a spoiler there. That's a hint of disappointment when later on when we talk about it. So
yeah. Anyways, so next we had the New Day promo where the New Day was welcomed by Kathy Kelly. Kathy stopped for the interview. Xavier Woods grabbed the camera and started walking and following.
Wasn't his first time.
It wasn't his first time filming anything either.
That's right. He filmed a tag team match last time.
Mhm.
Remember?
Mhm. And look, I'm going to say this right now.
A fatal three-way.
God, for the NXT Women's Championship. So I don't even think they're being addressed as the New Day now.
Yeah.
I think they're just being addressed as Woods and Kingston or Kofi and Xavier.
Yeah.
Is that how they announced them?
Yeah, they got Dom level heel
They
heat.
did.
Yes, I
Yeah.
could be wrong. They got
you're right.
okay. They got Dom level heel heat where they got booed out of the fucking arena without being able to say anything. With one action of kicking out Big E out of the group. The dead weight, right? And we'll just call it as it is. Dead weight. They kicked the fucking dead weight out of the goddamn group. And now they're just Dom level atomic heel heat, and I'm for it.
My favorite line was when they started booing, and then Woods is like, "We didn't do anything to E." It's like they're trying to play the victim, saying like,
Yeah.
"No, why are you blaming us?" It's like it's like Woods, come on, bro. We saw what you did there. We saw what you and old Kingston did there, man. At this point, you might as well turn. As you're gonna go full heel. Why don't you have Kingston go back Jamaican and then be like, be like, "Oh, you want to do that?"
Yeah, dude. And like the crowd was chanting New Day sucks, and Bleacher Report put up, what is this, 2015? Because when they initially debuted, they debuted as heel group. Yeah, so crazy. Next we had the Anything Goes match of Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez.
Yep.
Raquel picked up the win. Rhea Ripley picked up the win.
Of course.
I was going to say, Rhea's not going to take a pinfall loss.
No. And that was the end of the show, man. Like, I don't think that match deserved to be main event. And like, the grand scheme of looking at it
is the same way I looked at Damian and Dom main eventing.
Yeah. Honestly, that match should have been opener, and then they should have put the Y6 versus the Final Testament at the end. And here's the thing. Hold on. I have a fucking question now. Is The Miz with the Final Testament now, or is he just an attachment?
Force. He's like
okay, yeah. Because
yes, good point. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because every time he tries to leave, they Cross like threatens him.
Well, okay, he gets Mook 1 and Mook 2 to threaten him. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Overall, Raw was all right, man. But like, for me, the moments of the night were Punk and Seth's interviews. Yeah, it drew. God damn it, the top three of every fucking week: Punk, Drew, and goddamn Seth.
Always. I don't know, man. I don't think the Seth segment wasn't as good as the Punk Seth segment the week before.
No, absolutely not.
I'll say New Day. New Day stood out. Cross and the Final Testament and the Y6 stood out. What were your other two? Oh, Punk and Drew. Yeah, I think Punk's interview hit harder than Seth's response.
Oh, definitely. But Raw was okay this week. It wasn't anything special. SmackDown, in my opinion, was a lot better.
Yes.
SmackDown there was surprises. There was 2 surprises that happened in that night that I didn't think were gonna happen. There was they brought back headshots for certain things. So yeah, dude. Do you guys want to go into NXT? Was there anything crazy on NXT, or do you want to roll on to SmackDown?
He might have to cover it because I didn't watch it still.
Okay.
I'll cover it. I can cover it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So are you covering NXT?
Yeah, I'll cover NXT.
Okay. All right. I'm going to jump out real quick. Groceries just showed up. I will be right back.
Sounds good. All right. Okay, so this is the NXT right after a very solid Deadline show. Start with Julia coming out saying she is the Iron Survivor, which means I'm going to do what I came here to do. Roxanne at New Year's Evil in LA, the Beautiful Madness will become the NXT Women's Champion, which then brought out the champ herself, basically saying that, you know what, I'm going to beat you again. And then Julia says, you know what, why don't we do it right now? But then old Tits there interferes, which she shouldn't be. They were going to tag team against her, saying, oh, by the way, your help's not going to help you. And we see in the back that Stephanie Becker has been laid out on the floor. But then Julia then starts the fight there, and then she gets a savior in the form of Kalani Jordan. So they fend off the attack there from Cora and the champ there. Tony D'Angelo then is in the back there. He sees Ethan Page. He's slown over. He's basically kind of depressed. He goes, Page, and then Page just doesn't know how to get back into the title picture, believe it or not. But then the Don says, yeah, I have a soft spot for you, Page. How about you challenge me for the North American title? And then Page goes over his resume and how he ran his brand. And then he basically says the North American Championship will be a step down. But then the Don's like, oh, okay. I tried to be nice. That's fine. Who wants the shot? Everybody starts going after him. But then Page goes, no. I'll take the match. Fine. I'll take the match. He's like, okay, I'll see you later. So we then have Lexus King there. He says did some soul searching this weekend. He wants another crack at the Heritage Cup. Charlie, he was actually talking with Ryan Leaf, who was there, former NFL player. He made an appearance there. I don't know why, but regardless. Charlie Dempsey then tells Lexus that he'll think about it. Charlie's extremely proud of the North. And oh, wait, this is actually after that. But anyways, so then Charlie then goes. He's extremely proud of the North Quarter Crash crew. Despite them losing, he was very proud of their performances at Deadline. But then and then they had a brief altercation with both OTM and Jada Parker. So little dissension there between those two teams there. We then had a matchup here, Wes Lee versus Javon Evans. As always, solid match between these two. And we get a win here with Javon Evans getting the win over Wes Lee.
I heard Wesley took some pretty nasty bumps that match.
He did. He took a couple chops there as well, which was I love the selling he did there on the chops, which was pretty cool there. Axiom was then wanted to apologize to Nathan Frazier for downing him in NXT Deadline. And then Frazier says he owes Axiom a big one. And Axiom wanted Frazier to win the Iron Survivor real bad. And he would have done anything for his tag team partner. And then Frazier says he's going to make this right with Axiom. We then had a vignette with Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura, the Japanese fellow that has, I guess in this case here, will stay on NXT for a little while and form a tag team with Josh Briggs. So that's a little interesting there. We then had Kalani Jordan come out of the trainer's room with Julia, and they basically said that they want a match with Roxanne and Cora, which they will have later in the evening. We then had Zarya and Sol Ruka. They were talking about the Iron Survivor the challenge match. And then Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jagara Jackson came down and basically said that, we don't buy this hype there for Zarya. So they will have a tag match that'll be done next week. This upcoming week in this case. We then had our second match, which was Hank and Tank versus Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igui, TNT. I think we called him that.
I heard this match was actually pretty decent.
It's very solid, yeah. These four really, hit hard as always, as expected with these big old boys there. Hank, you gotta keep your shirt on, bro. We don't want to see that little whatever you got there. In the case there, he took his shirt off, and I was like, ugh, whatever. But yeah, it ended with Hank and Tank winning the matchup there. And DuPont shakes the hand of Hank and Tank, but Igwe walked out of the ring. So I guess we have some heel vibes happening between TNT there. So this should be interesting to watch. We then had our segment here with Oba Femi coming out. So I'm just going to read his promo here. Surprise, surprise! The ruler is back. At Deadline, I stormed into the building, I knocked down the opposition and destroyed everybody. And now I am the Iron Survivor. So now, in 4 weeks, in Los Angeles, California, and New Year's Eve, I will reclaim my rightful position on the throne as the ruler of NXT. And now that brings me to you, Trick Williams. You know, you and I haven't really officially crossed paths, but we've been very dominant in our individual divisions, haven't we? But now I think it's time to find out who the real top guy is. So Trick Williams then came out, but then Eddie Thorpe immediately cut off his what he was about to say there. So he comes out and says, no, cut the music. This ain't happening now, Oba. I'm not going to know what you did to me. Me and my people have been through enough. You attacked me last week. You took me out. Biggest chance of my career gone. And on top of that, you took my place in the Iron Survivor. So where's the justice in that? What? Because you're a badass, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stand for this. And then Oba immediately says, shut your mouth. You do not understand. You're making some very bold accusations there, my friend. So you answer me this. Did you see me attack you? He goes, no, of course not. I got attacked from behind. And never would hit with so much power. And there's only one person in the locker room with that kind of strength. Looking right at him. And then Oba goes, thank you for the compliments. I'm done wasting my time with you. Now, Trick. So he immediately goes right to Trick. And Trick says, Oba, I listen to you talk. Now I need you to listen to me. Because I've been where you've been. The highs and lows, I felt that. The Iron Survivor Challenge, I won that. I know everyone here has been waiting for you to see you and me go head to head. Los Angeles, City of Angels, the City of Stars, the two biggest stars of NXT has to offer. Trick Williams and Obafemi will collide for New Year's Evil. This sounds good, doesn't it? Oba, you and me haven't really talked, but I'm glad you're here. See, because the legacy of the title run isn't defined by how long you've held the title, it's defined by who you defeat while carrying it. And then Trick goes on, Oba then goes and says, Trick, you're talking all this noise about being champion, but here's the truth. Because I don't think anyone has ever hit you with some truth. The only reason that you have been the number one guy is because I let you be the number one guy around here. As a matter of fact, the only reason there's ever been a whoop that era was because I allowed there to be a whoop that era. And the truth is, I've always known this, that whenever I was ready, I would take that easily. And at New Year's Evil, it seems like we have a date with destiny, don't we? Obafemi versus Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. I promise you, I swear to you, the beginning of 2025 will be the end of your era. And then Eddie Thorpe then goes on and says, what the hell, Trick? You're the NXT champion. You're supposed to be the leader here. Yeah, but you didn't press Oba not once about what he did to me, did you? So he just basically kept on whining there. And basically he coerced Trick Williams into a title match, which we'll find out something very interesting later on about that. We then had Izzy Dame there saying that she has unfinished business with Gigi Dolan. But then Sean Spears, Brooke Jensen, and Nico Vance prevents Izzy from attacking Dolan. But then he basically says that, we're impressed by you. But then she just scoffs it off. We then had our third match here, which was Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley versus the Fatal Influence of Jasmine Nix and JC Jane. It was as expected, 4 professionals there, solid match there. We with the Fatal Influence getting the win, so nice to see them get another win there. In this case here, and then they went on to attack the two there, 3-on-2. But then we had a surprise return of old Shotzi, coming back from her knee injury.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good to see her back there. She came in the ring, and it looks like she's going to do some NXT for a little bit there. Well, I mean, which makes sense there, knowing how deep that roster is on the main roster. So I don't mind Shotzi having a brief period there with NXT until she's back up on the main roster. So good to see Shotzi there.
Good to see her back and
what's that?
I said, good to see her back and healthy.
Yeah, she looks good. She's got a nice flowing hair there, and she's got the big knee brace on, so now she's protected for the knee. We then had Axiom then go tell Nathan Frazier that he got himself a match with Obafemi next week. But then Frazier feels bad about it because he went to Ava and said that they're going to defend the tag team titles. And now it's Axiom's turn to now have 2 matches in the same night. And then we find out that aside from Axiom versus Obafemi, we find out that their tag team title match will be against the Gallus Boys. So
oh shit!
It'll be interesting to see how they book that with Axiom there with Frazier. So it'll be interesting to see. We then had our fourth matchup with Tony D'Angelo versus Ethan Page for the North American Championship. And of note, Ethan Page didn't do his signature this. He was more or less kind of like focused, determined and kind of thing there, kind of look. But solid match here with Ethan and Tony. Back and forth with the close falls there. And then in the end, though, Tony D'Angelo retained the championship over Ethan Page. So his down spiral seems to continue here, which is kind of interesting. An interesting way they're going with Ethan Page here. And then, as mentioned, I said Lexus King was speaking to Ryan Leaf, the NFL quarterback. He was here now. We're giving him advice, and then Charlie Dempsey tells Lexus that he'll get his Heritage Cup match in 2 weeks, but he'll have to attend a special workout next week. In this case here, so we're going to see Charlie Dempsey versus Lexus King in a Heritage Cup match in a couple weeks.
And that's their second bout, right?
Yeah. Ethan Page then refuses to answer any questions at the moment. He just lost his way. He doesn't believe that he's all ego anymore. He has no clue on how to get back to the NXT title picture. He's lost and truly ashamed and just walks away. And it was interesting. They actually stretched it out into social media because they actually showed him losing to Dante Chen in a live event. And basically they're continuing this. It's almost like it almost kind of resembles when MVP started losing all his matches, and then he lost all his entrance theme and all that such. So curious to see what they do with Ethan here. Yep, and then as mentioned, the matches that I mentioned. So we have Axiom and Nathan Frazier putting the tag titles against Gallus, Axiom going up against Boba, and then Zarya and Sol Ruka will face the Metaphor next week. We then had the main event, which was Roxanne Perez and Tits versus Julia and Kalani Jordan. As you would expect, Julia was hard hitting in this match here, though I'm not so happy about the ending here. I like the fact that they protected Julia and Roxanne here. They brawled to the back in this case here, so they basically pushed them out of the picture. And then Cora got her DDT finisher on Kalani, and she got the pinfall victory over Kalani Jordan. So she got a victory along last year. But then Vakur then came out and attacked Cora. So I guess they're going to have a little bit of a rivalry, of course, in the near future. And then the big twist in the end here, we go back to Ava's office. Eddie has signed his contract for the NXT title match. And he informed and then Ava's goes, "Oh, we're still looking for the person that attacked you." But then he goes and says, "Yeah, I know who it was." And she goes, "Who?" "You're looking at him." And he finally got his match without having to do the Iron Survivor Challenge. So basically, swindled his way in a way I never thought possible. So interesting to see this. I like this direction they're going with Eddie. So he's going little lie, cheat, and steal kind of thing. So he has a title match.
No more DJ shit.
No more DJ shit. Nope, that's gone off the wayside here. So it's almost kind of like when Tatanka was doing his final run, he's kind of, having his ancestors, whatever, being ostracized there. But yeah, no, it's a good, solid NXT show there. It beat AEW swiftly this week. Crushed them. So good number too. 680, I believe, if I remember. Yeah. So it's good number there. So yeah, interesting to see what happens with like I said, with Ethan Page, with Eddie there, how they build to the women's side there. So yeah, it's good stuff there.
It seems like they're finally starting to slowly rebuild the men's division.
Yes,
I think the mid card scene needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
I'm still not really crazy about them giving the title to Tony D. I like Tony, but I would rather see it on somebody like Sean, who I feel like Sean could take that a little further. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many talent on that roster that isn't ready. I feel like there's more green talent than there is actually ready talent.
Yeah, I agree on that there. Yeah, I mean, I like that Sean has introduced someone new that we don't know in this case here. But yeah, you've got big talent pool there in NXT that needs to be developed. That needs to rise to the occasion now. So hopefully, as you said, there seems like they're slowly starting to build their men's division at long last. I think the fact that you got rid of, they drafted quote unquote Rob Breaker, Ilya, and Mello. You created a big hole right after the draft there. So it's like, I don't know if they've recovered since, but we shall see. It's going to be an interesting next few months here with NXT. So we shall see where that goes. Anything else before I move on to We move on to SmackDown.
I think the women's roster is so overloaded with riches that I feel like at some point there's going to be a batch of women that are going to need to be called up. Because it is just, there's so much women on that roster that it's sickening at this point. But not in a bad way.
Ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's and then especially with the fact that you have Charlotte, Becky, and then other people coming back soon. Asuka, it's like
Asuka.
You got a nice influence of stars,
Alexa,
and up and comers. And Alexa, yes, that's right. It's quite intriguing with that women's division there. So we'll see where they go direction wise here. Sean's back here. Sean will cover SmackDown as well here.
I will. Sorry, I had to go grab my nuts. These nuts.
Pause, bro. Pause.
Ain't no pause in my life.
All right, hey, SmackDown.
Like nuts in your mouth. It's your business.
Hey.
They're nice. They're nice, salty, and toasted.
Oh my God.
Start calling you Effie.
Suck my chocolate. No, I'm thinking Chef from South Park. Let's go to SmackDown here from Hartford, Connecticut. To note, this was also a double taping, so next week will be a non-spoiler for the crowd there. So all the Saturday Night Main Event thing that happened will be filled in on that Friday show in like clips and such. So we had the live version here from SmackDown. Surprise entrance here of Jimmy Uso. We did not expect him to be here because obviously he just had his broken toe there. But he came out. They started yeeting, and I love the fact that he goes, "That's the wrong twin, by the way." Hey, listen up. But he basically says that War Games was lit. And then he said he's proud of Roman Reigns, he's proud of Jay, his brother there. And then he says that, it's going to be a new year. I feel that there's going to be big things for Big Jim. But as he's about to leave, he gets claymored the hell out of his boots by Drew McIntyre as old Hitman McIntyre continues his one-man assault on his demons that have, haunted him for years. So great to see Drew come out there in this case here. We then go to the women's locker room where Nia Jax is giving Tiffany Stratton some encouragement ahead of their U.S. women's title match. Nia says that when Tiffany becomes the women's champion, she won't need her money in the briefcase anymore. She doesn't need to resort to cheap tactics, and Nia and Candice LeRae wishes Tiffany good luck. Nick Aldis then is in the back with Drew McIntyre. He tells him to go to his office, which I love Drew going like, "You got it, sir." Yep, that's right. He gave the salute to Nick Aldis. He goes to the back. We then go to him speaking with Bianca Belair, talking about the ongoing investigation when it comes to Jade Cargill. And then he also goes and says that, you know what, we may have to vacate your titles because you haven't defended it in such a long time. But then Naomi says, "I'll step in." But then he goes, "You step in on the but you have to defend them next week." She goes, "Okay, that's fine." So we will see Naomi and Bianca defend the tag titles, but against who? Well, we'll find out later on.
Who we then had our tag team?
I think it's Charlotte. It may have been Charlotte, to be honest. Maybe
could have been Charlotte.
She had that little full fucking send on Charlotte and Jade. I don't care. I need it.
Yeah, because they had that little brief brief encounter there when she was first introduced. So it's like, hi, I'm Jade. She goes, yes, I know. It's a pleasure to meet you. And then they just literally walk. So you got two alpha females there. So it's possible. So yeah,
Like give me
we will
Charlotte
see.
and Jade first, and then Bianca.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. This is gonna be. We're very intrigued here. We always like those mystery who done it kind of stories there. It's gonna be interesting next few weeks here. We then had our first semifinals match in the Women's United States Championship tournament between Mi Chen and Tiffany Stratton. By the way,
Fantastic
good job there
match.
between the two. Yeah, good chemistry between those two. They've done a few matches here and there, so it's good to see them back in the saddle there. And then we had Mi Chen get the victory over Tiffany Stratton. So congratulations to Mi Chen. She heads to Saturday.
That defeat came out of nowhere.
Yeah, she really is getting that. She's done a good job with that. Yeah.
And you know what's funny is
yeah.
I was gonna say one of my friends was like, "Oh, Tiffany shouldn't be in that tournament because she's Money in the Bank." I said, "Bro, she's there to help elevate other talent. She's not gonna win anything." I said, "Stop overthinking people being in the tournament. Just like Bailey was never going to win.
No. She was either going to be in the finals, lose it.
Yeah. The second she got pinned by Meech, and he's like, "Oh, you were right." I'm like, "I know it was right, dude. Like, let it play out."
Exactly. That's why I say don't overthink a lot of this in this case here.
You're right.
When I look at certain matches, I'm like, okay, it's fine. If it happens, it happens. But like, I always look at the bright picture, and I'm like, okay, I know they're not going to win. I know this rivalry is going this way. So it's like, that's the kind of thing you have to always do. Just not overthink it. But yeah, congratulations to Mi Chen. I'm glad, like I said, she was my breakout, like I said, and it's just great to see her, get that shine. So she will go to Nassau Coliseum for Saturday night's main event. But guess who? We will find out in due time here. We can get a solid DIY promo here in black and white, reestablishing their heel turn here, which is, like we said with like Drew McIntyre's heel turn, with Kevin Owens' heel turn, they state facts here with their heel turn. So let's go with I can't do a Gargano and Ciampa voice, so I'm just gonna read it here. August 2nd, 2024.
All you gotta do with Ciampa is like choke yourself and talk.
Well, I can do that. I can do that. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I can do that. Okay, let's try that. August 2nd, 2024. I returned home to Cleveland, Ohio, champion. Supposed to be my best night of my life. But what happened? We were screwed out of our tag team titles. Screwed out of justified rematch for our tag team titles. There you go. There's my Ciampa. In my city, in front of my family, in front of my friends, in front of my 2-year-old son. I was embarrassed. But I looked at all of that. I bottled it up deep down inside, and I soldiered on. And then next week, I looked into this camera, and I told the world I was going to do whatever it takes to right the wrong and get those titles back. I just didn't know what that meant yet. Then entered the Motor City Machine Guns. Red carpet and all. Jumping straight to the front of the line, taking our spot. Amidst the chaos, all everybody could talk about was, oh my God, Alex Shelley's and his mentorship of Johnny Gargano. And while they were all looking left, we took one step right because we're always 2 steps ahead. It was good to see my friend Alex Shelley again. Everything they've done for tag team wrestling. Glad they got their flowers, but unfortunately came with their funeral. Whatever it takes. But now we're on to better days because we are the 2-time tag team champions of the world. The greatest tag team alive. I'm the man. This guy right here, he's the mastermind. Best tag team in the world. Best in the world. DIY, baby. We are DIY. So, yeah. That's
I have never been so impressed by a guy who's been nothing but a glorified indie dude for his entire WWE career. But when he said that line, flowers for your funeral, bro, my mind was like, boom. I'm like, this guy is in his bag.
And we have to apologize to Hunter there because he kept pushing DIY all the time, but now it's worked. Okay.
Apologize.
So it's just so great. Yeah, like we said, the fact that he got both the New Day and DIY, who were on a sort of, that little ship that was, on a rocking boat of waters. He got them up to an elevated level with these heel turns. It's like when the Usos turned heel for the first time. They were in that rocky waters, and then all of a sudden, snap.
Heel turn, bro.
That heel turn with the Usos, that made everybody love them again because they was different. They were like, themselves almost. It's to a certain extent. It's like it's just great. It's just very.
They have been
very,
to jail, so the Uso penitentiary thing works.
That's right. Uso penetration. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, that's true.
Shout out Hillsborough County.
Oh man. We then had Roman Reigns get a promo in looks like he was in his island of relevancy there, but hey, it was a solid promo there. It was really cool.
Really was.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can do a Roman Reigns voice here. It's been a rough year. Not that long ago, we ran everything, and then the spring and through the summer, it all fell apart. I lost my title. I lost my wise man. I lost the bloodline, the entire bloodline. But most importantly, I lost my Ula Fala. You see, the thing is, Solo, 4 years ago, you weren't here. I didn't take that Ula Fala. I earned it. My father, my uncle, your great uncles, they crowned me with that responsibility because I was the man to lead this family. The only thing that matters to me is my family and my Ula Fala, the responsibility that only I can handle. So for some, January 6th is Netflix. It's what it's all about. For me, it's tribal combat. Your bloodline won one, and mine won one. I say we leave the tribes on the side and let them spectate. Tribal chief versus tribal chief. January 6th, I take back my bloodline. I take back my Ula Fala. I take back my respect. And once I have the respect, the whole world will have no choice but to acknowledge me. So,
I don't think he's going to win it back.
He probably will. Yeah, in this case here. So it's going to be I think in this case here, Netflix wants Roman in there. So it makes sense to have it. So
Roman's getting back to Ufalafa.
We'll get to that later on here.
LA Knight spoke to the entire bloodline with that line.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I can't wait to read that one there. And then announces that a kickoff event will happen at the brand new headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, with all the talent there, including what was thought was a retired Logan Paul, but he's going to be there. So that means he's still obviously part of the WWE family. So I can't wait to see him back there. Can't wait to see what they do with him. It's going to be interesting where they put him there. Santos Escobar then comes out. Santos Escobar then talks to Nick Aldis, is saying, why am I not getting an opportunity? And then maybe he'll call Adam Pearce and see if he gets an opportunity. We then have Carmelo Hayes go out to fight his mystery opponent, which happened to be all monsters, Braun Strowman. We were slightly disappointed at the mystery opponent, but then again, we really can't beat Braun Strowman. He's one of our most respected wrestlers out there. In this case here, we had Braun Strowman, of course, get the victory, very solid victory with him to reestablish himself as a monster. And the fact that he came back
the entire WC into a fucking meltdown.
Whatever. Like I said, whatever. I don't care. They can melt down. They can go like yeah, and go and all that. Whatever.
I am going to tweet my displeasure.
Exactly. Well, right. I'm gonna go tweet. Yeah, like Triple H would say. Well, I'm gonna tout this or whatever he said back in the days.
I need to make that a sound.
Yeah. So. And then we get the aforementioned LA Knight interview with Byron Saxton, and then he's concerned about the new tribal chief. The man then he goes, the man they call the megastar has arrived to Hartford. No matter where he goes, he always handles his business. He wanted nothing to do with war games because it was none of his business. The Bloodline had nothing to offer him. He doesn't care about the Ufalafa. He doesn't need that, whatever you call it. That red necklace does nothing for him. As far as LA Knight is concerned, he has no love lost for either Roman or Solo. The entire family can go to LA says that Jey Uso is the only worthy person for the Bloodline. Yeet. Yeah. Solo's red necklace got in the way of LA recapturing the U.S. Championship. Now his fist has to get in the way of Solo's face. And his foot get in the way of Solo's big fat ass. Whether Solo has it, has the Ufalafa or not, He will remember whose game is this with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. So,
One of his best promos I think he's ever cut.
Very solid, aggressive there. I loved it there.
Him cooking the bloodline will never not be funny.
Yeah, that was very, very funny. We then had Braun Strowman talking to Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly wanted him in the musical because he's a monster, but he said nope. But then A-Town Down Under invited Strowman to be a guest on next week's episode of the Grayson Waller Effect, which is part of that spoiler there from next week. So there you go. We then had our third match here of Solo Sikoa versus L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good solid match here between the two. Of course, Solo Sikoa gets the victory there. Beatdown happens from the bloodline.
Knight should have won that match to help with the Solo downfall.
Maybe. See, neither here or there. You could have gone either way with that one.
I don't think
I
don't think LA losing hurts him at all. Honestly,
that's kind of true. Yeah, he's still pretty high up there in the card there. So, the Bloodline attacked him, but then he gets assistance or tried to get assistance from Andrade and Apollo Crews. Which, by the way, I'm still happy Apollo Crews is still on the roster and still getting some much needed time there. But then they get beat down by Solo. Which, spoiler alert, they will have a 6-man match between those three and Jacob, Tama, and Solo next week. So we will see that next week.
I want to see the Ufalafa.
Yeah, exactly. The Ufalafa. The Motor City Machine Guns then had a little vignette there, basically clapping back at Johnny Gargano. Basically, Shelley's basically telling him, "You're going to be my bitch," pretty much. He basically said that I'm the teacher and you're the student. So basically, a nice little back and forth there. Love the fact that they had a nice promo. We then had our second of the semifinal matchups between Bayley and Chelsea Green. And
great match.
Congratulations to Chelsea Green. And you know what? Like I said, congratulations to Bayley for being such a leader to that women's division there this year overall. I mean, the fact that she always wants to elevate others in this case here is great. The fact because let's see it. Let's go through the list. She gave Piper Niven a highlighted match in Glasgow, which is something that she gave Candice LeRae a win. And now she gives Chelsea Green the rub here. And but yeah, very solid match between the two there. Chelsea then gets the unpretty her honor, and she will move on to Nassau Coliseum to fight Michin for the United States Championships.
Let me just say that was a beautiful ass Rough Rider that she did on Bayley.
Yeah, really, really good. Yeah,
beautiful.
She must be. She does a good Rough Rider there. Yeah, very, very good. Yeah. So then we had, and then so then as noted here, next week we will have Bianca Belair and Naomi. They will put the women's tag titles on the line against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So that's a match.
Shout out to Candice LeRae, man. She has really, really stepped up.
Yeah, no, it's great that, and I'm glad once again, it's another talent that I'm glad that they haven't given up on. Because I think they have they have high praise for her as well. So yeah, it's good to see Candice finally getting some shine in this case here. But yeah, she will have a matchup there, and then the two then kind of ridicule Tiffany Stratton in this case here. So it seems like a small burn to a face turn for Tiffany Stratton is coming. So it's interesting to see here what they do there.
What's up, Alec?
Hey, Alec. Hey, we missed you too, buddy. And then we have Shinsuke Nakamura doing a promo here. So let me get my Shinsuke voice there. Do you feel it? A shift has taken place. No longer will the feeble, weak-minded be praised as victors. The weaknesses hidden behind false confidence will be dragged into a light for all to see. One by one, they will fall before my feet, broken, humiliated, and forgotten. LA Knight was just the beginning. He held something he never deserved. Something he should have never touched. And now he claws for what he cannot have. What is no longer his. What never truly was. I am imminent. I am inevitable. So, wow. Nice, solid promo there from Shinsuke.
He had the Shinsuke as this special heel is going to be crazy.
It's great.
They had that demon flashing behind him too.
That's right. Yeah. He's good. He's good, man. And then the night ended with a segment here with Michael Cole and Kevin Owens, just basically hyping up the match here for tomorrow. So we're not really going to go through that there, because we have Saturday's main event to cover. So, but solid SmackDown. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
But I will say, Kevin Owens continuously. There's two things that happened in that made it really good. KO came out with his Stardust shirt on, and he said,
"Oh yes."
He said you were better than Stardust, or you were better as Stardust.
You know what? Right. I think that the Stardust line has been used way too much, and this isn't really a Kevin Owens thing. It's more of a. I just think it's a stupid direction for every heel so far that has faced Cody. I get it's part of his journey, but I feel like it's so overdone.
I'm going to tell you why I don't think that it's overdone. Yeah, I mean, okay, it could be overdone to a sense if it was consistently brought up. But Stardust is one of Cody's, if not Cody's, biggest insecurity in his career. And he, every single time that it's mentioned, you can tell the shift in his face. And so for somebody that considered him to be his best friend to bring up Stardust as an insecurity and like throw it in his face, gaslighting him, I think that is a fucking great move. I mean, yes, it does get brought up a lot, but if it wasn't brought up, if it was brought up,
Roman brought it up, AJ brought it up.
Yeah, but those are three people. Those are three people that.
But I'm saying those are all back-to-back feuds that have all said the same thing.
Right. Yeah, I can agree. But I think honestly, like
the only person who didn't bring it up was Gunther.
Yeah, very true. Nakamura didn't either.
That's true. He didn't.
To be fair, Nakamura doesn't cut promos.
No, very true. Very true. He reads from a script. All right. And then the second thing was they allowed KO to hit Cody in the head with the fucking title.
Belt, yeah.
Does not get seen very often or at all.
That's right. Yeah. We didn't have to go cut to the crowd with that shot there. We just got the full smacking of the belt there, which is kind of a hint as to what if you remember earlier on the week, Triple H gave Cody a little bit of a case there with a special gift for one night only. So it's kind of like an Easter egg with him hitting him with the title belt there. So.
So we'll go on to main event. I'll cover main event.
Yeah.
So main event was from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New Jersey. The show opened up with Joe Tessitore introducing Jesse the Body Ventura. And Jesse looked great.
Yeah. Hasn't missed a beat.
Hasn't missed a beat. He was wearing the snakeskin jacket. And
Damien.
Yeah, and he said, after 40 years of being gone from WWE, wrestling is still as popular as it ever was.
And you guys did it. Congratulations.
Shaking his head. But anyways, before the first match started, we got a surprise when we got Pat McAfee returning to color commentary. He joined Michael Cole to a huge ovation. Yep. God, this man is so over. So it was awesome. The stage and the whole arena was set up very retro. They went right back to the old golden era logo, which was fucking awesome. And the nice LED entrance, which was really good. Yeah, and then instead of having barricades set up, they had gates set up, which was really cool. Nice throwback, and then all the referees were in the blue period shirt. That was really cool. It was a nice throwback. Something you don't see very often. Yeah, our first match was Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, really good match between these two. And at one point, very good back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Drew hits a fucking Claymore to end the match. Just out of nowhere, dude. I swear to God, this move is turning into the RKO.
I can see
he can hit it. He can hit it from anywhere, right?
Yeah.
He can hit it from anywhere. We've seen it where people off the top rope,
and it's real. And it's realistic too. I mean, imagine a 260-pound monster freaking kicking your ass right there out of nowhere.
Speaking of monster,
just chucking.
Can we talk about the fact that Drew McIntyre deadlift Sami Zayn off of the ground into a freaking power bomb?
Yeah, that was impressive.
Strong, man. Guy's strong, bro.
Freaking boy.
To be honest, I don't mind the Claymore coming out of nowhere. Yeah, me neither. I mean, kind of does it anyway.
I hate the countdown shit.
Yeah, I do too. So we seen Drew McIntyre pick up the pinfall. Next, we got Damage Control walking backstage to looks like they're heading to Gorilla, and then they showed a commercial. And then when they came back, they had Tito Santana, Rich Herring. I have no clue who Rich Herring is, and Mouth of South Jimmy Hart in the front row, which is cool.
Rich Herring was their longtime employee, apparently.
Okay. All right. And our next match was Io Sky and Liv Morgan, and these two look. The rolling German suplexes that Io Sky did was nasty.
Yeah,
fucking nasty.
She beat the piss out of Liv Morgan.
She did, and that knee that she gave to Liv, I was like, her face. So bad. She hit that girl with the force of 9,000 suns, man.
But I thought women's wrestling here in WWE, they hold back their moves.
They didn't hold back shit last night.
That's right. Watered down and nobody gets pushed.
Yep. Io Sky was setting up for her over the moonsault. Liv countered, and then she tripped on the ropes, and then got caught in Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Liv picks up the win. Really good match, and it was good to see her pick up a pinfall clean.
Yeah,
without any distractions.
A lot of people were mad about that too. Like, whenever it happened, they're like, "Why is Liv picking it up clean?" I said, "Dude, I think a heel sometimes it's really good for a heel to win shit clean because."
Mm-hmm.
I'm still super against her taking that pinfall at War Games. I think Raquel should have taken it because it protects Liv as a champion. I don't know. I might be one of the few that doesn't like singles champions taking pinfalls if it's not for the title.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But I think her getting this clean win was a good rebound off of War Games.
Yeah. And then also one last thing to add before our next match. Judgment Day was at the ramp, and then Rhea Ripley's music hit, and Rhea and Liv do a stare down. So it looks like we're gonna get Rhea and Liv at Rumble. Alex says it was good for Liv to get a clean win, and Gunther, I was sick of seeing Gunther retain due to nothing but interferences. Well, that's next. So Damian Priest versus Finn Balor versus Gunther, really good match.
This was my match of the night, honestly.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Besides the Damian Priest match, what match did he win that was with interference for the title? Am I retarded?
No, I mean he did win. He the two Damian Priest matches he won were because of interference. I think he beat Sammy clean.
It was just those two, right?
Yeah.
Sammy was clean. Yeah, Sammy was clean. Cody didn't have any interference.
His IC title reign was pretty clean.
His IC title
reign was pretty clean. He didn't
at the beginning, Ludwig would interfere, but when it started when he started getting in deeper into days, it was just him beating the piss out of people.
Holding full finishers. Yeah.
Dude, this match between Priest, Balor, and Gunther was phenomenal. Great fucking I never doubt Gunther or Finn Balor in a match, but Damian Priest showed the fuck out too.
Yes, yeah.
He did have
ending
that
of match was fucking incredible.
Yeah, he did have that nasty fucking tope suicida.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Undertaker at WrestleMania 25.
Oh yeah.
Finn looked sharp. Absolutely, Finn did look sharp. I think one of the funniest moments of the match for me was when Gunther had Priest in the fucking Boston Crab, and then Balor came and smacked Gunther on the chest. Gunther just threw his legs down, looked at him, and started beating the piss out of him.
He's like, "What the hell you doing, bro?"
He's like, "Are you
Gunther
serious?"
was set up.
Yeah. Oh man.
But goddamn, this match was great. That power bomb that Gunther gave to Priest on the steps, I was afraid for Priest because when he initially picked him up, he didn't get the full fucking motion.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
He might have sandbagged him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he could have, but he power bombed him into the steps, and then went in and just drop kicked the dog shit out of Finn, and then fucking
that drop kick to fucking Balor was so smooth.
God, dude,
and I love the rebound off the turnbuckle into the power bomb.
Yeah, he said he thought he was going to botch the sling blade over Gunther. Yeah, and then they did great. Yeah, really good match. He doesn't, but there was a sling blade that he did where it looked like he may not gotten all of it on Gunther, but regardless, Gunther picks up the win to retain. Next we had the women's United States Championship finals match between Michin and Mia Yim, and both of these women fucking showed out, did a hell of a fucking job, dude.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, this match for me was like severely underrated. I thought that it was just going to be another run of the mill Chelsea Green match, and it wasn't. Like, this girl showed the fuck out. No. I love her costume her outfit where just her face is all over it. And that fucking unpretty her that she did off the top rope.
Oh my god!
Sick. It was a beautiful transition because he grabbed her and then flipped over into it, and I was like, "Dude, what?"
Yeah.
Alex said he wished it was Michin.
Honestly, you could not have gone wrong with either or. Honestly, in this case here, you couldn't do. Yeah, in this case here, I wouldn't have been mad with either one. Honestly, in this case here, but
I think,
in this case here,
I think the real litmus test was the reaction that Chelsea got that entire match. It would have been a mistake to give that title to Michin. Like I said it, I wouldn't care who won, but I don't want fans to turn on somebody Triple H has worked his ass off to get over.
Exactly. Yeah, and in this case here, I mean, especially after the match, you saw the post from Hunter for Michin there. That means she still has high hopes. So she has a lot of support from a lot of us here.
She's a chaser.
And that's perfectly fine. Yeah,
and I think like on top of that, all the shit sandwiches that Chelsea had to eat, in WWE to get where she is now, right? And like obviously her being the fan favorite for Money in the Bank. I mean, we got Tiffany Stratton, but her being a fan favorite in that Money in the Bank and not getting it was kind of like, that sucks, right? That was a shit sandwich. There's been other chances that she's had. She's been a tag team champion. That's cool. But I mean, they really didn't do much with the tag team championship after they lost them.
Yeah.
They just kind of tossed them around.
So I have a thought on her not winning the Money in the Bank. Since we're talking about that, I feel like if you're comparing where Chelsea was at versus where Tiffany was at the time of that Money in the Bank win, Chelsea would have felt like a hot shot to that Money in the Bank. Tiffany was in the right place at the right time. I think for Chelsea to get to where she is at, obviously you heard the reaction they got whenever she won. To get to where Chelsea is at right now, she had to get kayfabe buried by Michael Cole on commentary about getting thrown in the dumpster.
Yeah.
She had to do the ridiculous backstage shit. She had to reestablish her character. Chelsea is one of those talents that you take your time with. Same with Michin. Tiffany can be thrown in any point of that card, and she will be the conversation every single time.
Oh, absolutely. Next match we had Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, and these two just beat the absolute brakes off of each other. They fucked each other up good. At one point, both of the referees were knocked out of the match.
But before, what was in the case, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah. What was in the case? It was the Winged Eagle Championship belt brought back for one night only. Honestly, I would not be mad if they brought that back as a full-time championship.
Ooh, beautiful championship.
If they didn't just put out the new titles, I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I thought, it was really good. One of the things that got me during this match that I was like chuckling my ass off about was when KO did the body drop on the table and he was like, "Hi, Randy."
Hi, Randy.
Hi, Randy.
Dude, but they cleared off the table and KO went to set up for a powerbomb on the table and Cody hit a fucking RKO on the table. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then both the referees got knocked out, and one referee got knocked out, and then the second one got knocked out, and then KO brought a steel chair into the ring. Cody grabbed it, threw it, and then he ended up hitting KO with a fucking crossroads on the chair, and that was beautiful. It was the end of the match. But I'm gonna show you what happened after the cameras went off. I know everybody knows, but we're gonna show
like
you.
Like your
anyway.
Facebook band.
What? I pulled up a video from the spotlight, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna show this real quick. And here we go. Let me do 4.
Let me point out him wearing the Dusty shirt and then having the
yes.
Oh, but there's more.
Yes, there is more.
This is a boss that doesn't fear for his life.
So it doesn't show the full thing, but essentially what happened is Kevin Owens came out, did the package pile driver after the cameras went off the air, which everybody's saying is a banned move, and sent Cody to the hospital. Cody was put on a stretcher. Kevin Owens grabbed the fucking Winged Eagle Championship, walked around with it, and was displaying it, and then walked out of the arena. Triple H knocked it out of his hands, and pretty much Triple H and KO got into a shoving match after everything. Now, here's something else. Kevin Owens has been a menace on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but I'm going to show you guys what he's been sharing on Twitter real quick. He said, not that. That's not what he said. Anyways, he said, exclusive after getting screwed out of becoming the United States or the undisputed WWE Championship by incompetent referees. Kevin Owens justifiably gets retribution on the American person with an often intimidated, never truly duplicated package pile driver. Just moments after Saturday night's main event goes off the air to send everyone home happy. And then,
like the Twitter noted.
Yeah, and then WWE uploads and says, upon leaving Gorilla, Triple H got into a confrontation with Kevin Owens, and KO posts up and says, upon leaving Gorilla, Triple H enthusiastically thanks Kevin Owens for the house and tells him how proud he is of Kevin for doing what needed to be done and taking what he truly deserves, and proceeds to invite him over to his house for Christmas dinner and to watch Saturday Night Main Event back on a 734-inch TV.
Oh, Kevin, man. Oh, Kevin.
What a fucking menace.
Oh my god. Great.
Jesus Christ. And here's the thing, like on top of that shirt he was wearing,
Yeah,
down below the tape said Kevin Owens, the Canadian Dream.
that's right.
And then it had Kevin Owens' face pasted over Dusty's face.
Oh my god. So great.
Jesus.
He's so great. So
Mm.
great.
Last night's event was awesome, very enjoyable. Now we're gonna finish up our year-end awards that we have. We have a submission from Alec, and we'll talk about that afterwards. But do you want to go ahead, Jr. and give us the next bit of them?
Category? Yeah. So we're gonna start with a couple positives here, and then we will go with our other side, the worst of, in this case here. So we're gonna go. Our next first category of tonight is superstar to watch out for in 2025. So it doesn't have to be male. It has to be. It could be either male or female, or you can do both. In this case here. So we have a wide variety, and it doesn't have to be strictly WWE. It could be somebody that we don't know is coming. In this case here. But I'm gonna start here. So I'm gonna do both male and female in this case here. So superstar to watch out for. I'm gonna go with Trick Williams. Strictly because I think in this case here he is getting main rostered sooner than we think. In this case here, and I'm very excited to see. He's been hyped up in NXT, especially with his theme song and all that. I can't wait to see all the crowds going, whoa, that Trick, and in this case here. So we're curious to see how he's going to do in 2025 in this case here. For the women's side, I am actually going to go. So I'm actually going to go a little off the board here with someone. As we discussed here, we were talking about how NXT has how the women's division has a deep, rich talent pool in this case here. So I'm not going to go with the obvious here. I'm going to go with someone that we don't really talk about, but Chris and I have an appreciation for, and I'm going to go with Kendall Gray from NXT. I think in this case here, she's got the talent of sort of like a Kurt Angle-esque kind of moveset in this case here, because she's a former wrestler and all. And, she had a highlight near the end of the year, being in a couple of high-profile matches. But I think in this case here, she could be on the rise in NXT, especially if they move, Julia, Vacour, and all those guys. Well, I don't think they're going to move Julia, but maybe Vacour or or Roxanne at some point, because then that means we're going to have other people from NXT rising up in the ranks there. So
Roxy is
long
overdue.
to watch out. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to pass this over to Chris. Who is someone we should watch out for in 2025?
For the male, I'm going to go Javon Evans. I think Javon Evans is arguably the best male talent in WWE right now who hasn't broke out just yet. And then female, I got to say Ren Sinclair, man. I have never been so impressed with somebody who has had such a short span of TV time. She is fantastic.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear.
All
right, Sean.
I'm going to step out of WWE.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Ricky Starks for the men.
Yeah.
I feel well, I feel like he is sick of sitting at home and he knows that he can get any dates. I mean, he's working for GCW.
You can't anymore.
Yeah, he can. He has he pulled him?
Yeah, he's not working GCW.
He pulled him.
No fucking way.
He pulled him.
Dude, that's why they're doing Jericho versus Matt Cardona, because Tony's being an asshole.
Wow. Okay, well that changes everything.
You really didn't hear about that?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Wow.
Regardless, Ricky Starks. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for females. I am going to go with Lyra Valkyria. I feel like she has a lot to prove, and I think that they could push her all the way to that to the finals of the Intercontinental Women's Championship.
Yep.
So Alex says for him it's Wes Lee and potentially Javon Evans is one of the biggest, youngest prospects ever signed with NXT for sure.
He is. He is a very bright future in this industry here. All right. So on the heels of that, we're going to go with tag team to watch out for in 2025. So we have a wide variety here to list out here. In my case here, so I'm going to go on the male side, even though we said they're the tag team of the year, but I'm curious what they're going to do for them this year. I'm going to go with Fraxium to watch out for in 2025. I'm curious to see if they will get main rostered or if they're going to continue this little dissension between the two in this case here. But if they don't, I'm hoping that they get to the main roster, and it will be very interesting how they work on the men's side there. And on the women's side, because it seems to be the women's tag division has been reestablished finally at long last, I'm going to go with the Metaphor in this case here, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, even though they've already had some main roster experience, but it seems as though they are destined for the main roster sooner than we think, of course. And very curious to see how Lash and Jakara do in the tag division when they get called up for 2025. So, Sean, your tag team to watch out for.
A tag team for men, I would have to go with Motor City Machine Guns. We've seen that. We've only seen about 4 matches that they've been in, but I really want to see more on the main roster. Whether they stay on SmackDown, whether they go to Raw, or if they work some NXT dates, I really want to see what they're about. We've seen them in TNA, but we haven't seen this style in WWE, so I like to see it. Yeah. Also, DIY, man. God damn it. Alex said it perfect. He said the heel turn was perfect, and it was. And we've talked about this, right? I really want to see what they're going to do with it. And for women, and this is going to be unpopular, man, and I don't think it's PFC, man. Like, I want to see what they do with Zoe Stark and with Shayna Baszler and whatever the fuck her name is. I want
Sonya. Oh, you're lagging a bit there. Hold on.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. You're good. Okay, so what were you going to say about Sonya and all that? Yep.
Yeah, I said I don't want to see them lose their job. I want to see them get better.
Sure.
And if that means that they have to go down to NXT to work and get better, or take some fucking acting classes or something, please, by all means, do it. But I think 2025 they could get better, and we can remember this date. And if they don't, Chris, you can say I was wrong.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm just gonna stand on my opinion that Shayna is unsalvageable. I think I don't know with Sonya. I feel like Sonya hasn't grown since she debuted. Zoe's okay. Zoe just has zero personality. They've tried so many times with her. She's literally just an ring girl, and there's nothing wrong with that. But she can't cut a promo to save her fucking life.
They paired her with Trish Stratus. I don't know how she was able to not get a bump out of that. It's like,
yeah. She was okay there for a little bit, and then they just went the opposite direction with her. So I lost interest with Zoe after the Money in the Bank shit because she did a lot of unsafe shit, and I wasn't about it. Yeah. Tag team of the year.
Great. To watch out for.
Man. Oh, yeah. To watch out for, sorry. Damn, that's hard, man. Yeah, I got to say Fraxium. I got to agree with you on Fraxium and Metaphor. I think those are probably my two picks because I'm a big Metaphor fan. Fraxium is, in my opinion, the best tag team in the world right now. I don't think anybody touches them. I want to give an honorable mention to Gallus, man. I want to believe that there's something on the horizon for Gallus.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how they if they bring them up soon. Very interesting to see how they would do on the main roster there. All right, time to have some fun here. Let's go with the worst male and female of 2024. So I am going to start here, and I have a tie for worst female wrestler of the year here: Lola Vice and Mercedes Moné. And I'm going to say that. So Lola, it boggles me that they said she's the most improved. If you saw the NXT awards that they have in this case here, I'm not sure why they gave it to her, but me and Chris have always talked about how cringeworthy she is with her promos, and the fact that she cannot establish herself as a heel and a baby face, especially when she had the promo with Roxanne Perez, which I wanted to throw myself out the window after that promo. It was literally one of those worst promos I've ever heard in my life because she literally could not find that balance. And then Mercedes, for the plain reason.
Like CM Punk.
What's that?
She made Tamina look like CM Punk.
Thank you. Oh man. Jeez. Holy moly, man. That's a shot in the dark there.
That was
and then boom boom boom. That's a boom 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 there. And then obviously Mercedes can't even wrestle a piece of toast. I've yet to watch an AEW match that's entertaining. I agree with you, Alec. I basically, for the sake of, well, first off, she has one of the worst theme musics ever because it's like a siren. It's like the right to censor siren, but to the max. But at least the right to censor siren at least was entertaining in this case here.
No.
Stop at some point.
And then you have like, and you used to have like these losers dancing to the CEO dance. It's like, oh my god! And you're trying to kind of force that chant there. And then, for the matches I saw there, especially her match with Vakor, where she literally was carried by Vakor, that whole match was like, I couldn't stand it. And like every time I see a promo for her online, I'm like, oh god, what are they doing with her? And it seems like her ego has gotten through the roof in this case here because it looks like she hasn't lost, if I'm not mistaken, since she's arrived, has she? She has not lost. Yeah, that's what I thought. So. That's basically for female there. Worst male, I'm gonna go with Wheeler Yuta in this case here, because I'm just gonna say exactly. Thank you. That's basically exactly my point. The fact that you're trying to raise this guy as a legit threat in a division. And he has the look of a bearded neck beard guy, but that works out. But it's just like he literally has no personality whatsoever. I remember when he tried to do a promo against MJF, and I literally was like, right there. In this case here, it's just like, and then they still try to make him look like an intimidating wrestler. It just he doesn't have the look, he doesn't have the charisma, and
he's a fucking dork.
He's a dork in this case here. That's basically who I think is the worst of 2024. Now, Chris, worst male and worst female for you. I think I know who your worst female is.
Oh, God. So I'm going to start with male, and they're tied for me. MJF is the worst guy of this year. I don't think anybody touches him, how fucking terrible he is. And Jack Perry, number 2.
Okay. Jack Perry, number 2, the scapegoat. Okay.
Complete trash. I was going to say John Moxley, because Moxley's up there too.
I gave him a pass this time in this case here, because at least he's trying. At least he's trying, sort of. For me, to be honest.
For worst female? Oh, man. Hold on. Let me think here for 2 seconds. Okay. Worst female for me, I can't not say Lola. Lola's definitely there.
Yeah.
Lola's probably at the top of that list. Second worst female, I think, probably has to be Britt Baker. Since her return, she has absolutely eaten complete shit. And she's terrible.
Yeah.
I was going to say Mercedes. I was going to stay on that Mercedes train. And I was just like, you know what? I think Britt is worse than her. And, you know what? Britt and Mercedes, like, right there. I got to say Mercedes, too. I can't not say her.
Yeah, I told you, man.
That song is so bad.
Exactly. All right, Sean, worst male and female of the year for you.
Man, I'm gonna go for females. I'm gonna go with Mercedes. Mercedes. We're not even gonna say her name right. And then for the men, I'm gonna have to go with either Ocean Spray or fucking or the Dying Tree Chris Jericho.
The Dying Tree.
Because this fucking man, I swear to God, is worse than Jeff Jarrett. I swear to God.
Oh man, Jeff Jarrett at least isn't terrible though.
Dog.
That's true.
Look, Jeff Jarrett at least put the title on Kurt Angle, right?
Yeah,
like at least relinquish the title to like Jericho and Rhino and Sting. Like Jericho, this man has been a fucking hog this whole time. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I just can't. I can't stand Jericho, man. And he looks, dude. He like, you're supposed to be a pro wrestler, right? You're supposed to stay in shape. This man looks like
a melted ice cream.
Well, that, but he also looks like what I would imagine. Like you take some bologna and you throw it outside in the heat, and it just like heats up, and then it gets sunburnt, and then people step on it, and then it just keeps going, right? Like I imagine, or he looks like a packet of sausage, right? Like the ground sausage that you just throw out in the middle of nowhere, and then it freezes in the winter time. And it gets real hard, and then the sun rays hit it, and then it just melts onto the concrete. Oh my God. That's what I think Jericho looks like. Alex says Max Caster or Max Caster.
So this is going to surprise.
I got another one. Surprise
both of you. I disagree with Max, and you know why? Because Max Caster is a Tony Khan problem. That's not on Max. That's Tony Khan not putting any restrictions on that fuck.
I'm gonna pull this up close enough for everybody to hear me. Everybody that's not watching.
Okay.
I fucking hate Hang Bitch Adam Page. Fuck Adam Page.
Hang Bitch.
Fuck Adam Bitch Page. And the horse and pony show that he rode in on. I hope that he gets into a car accident and breaks both of his legs.
Oh my God! Wow.
That was a
Respect.
His face, he's got one of those faces that you just want to fucking punch repeatedly. And that stupid mustache makes me just want to get a razor and shave my beard off.
He looks like he's on the registration list.
He looks like he's on a few registration lists.
That's what I'm saying.
It's great.
Hey,
and that registration list, that's an insult to people that have mental health disorders.
No. I'm talking about the list.
The Schmetter list. The metal list.
The Schmeil Schmeditor list.
Yeah. Don't say that, or he might come burn down your childhood home.
I didn't say it. The childhood home, right? Whose house? It's not my house. It's down the street.
Yeah. I would be like, hey, this isn't definitely not my home that I have all my stuff in, that I live and sleep comfortably in. You piece of shit.
Oh my goodness. They just give us a lot of ammunition to work with, which goes to the next one here. Is Metro where we don't get them good? No.
If you enjoy watching two people fuck each other that are men, and they have weapons, that's what that match is. Two men fucking each other.
If you want two people to give each other hepatitis B or whatever that thing is, there you go. There's your
hepatitis G, hepatitis gay.
Listen, if it wasn't for the fact that A, they used a fucking syringe in that match, and B, him getting powerbomb on a fucking cinder block, nah, bro, that match was dog shit.
Yeah, and it was second worst to Blood and Guts, Can we move on so I don't have to feel angry when I leave here?
Okay, all right. Wait, well, yeah, we got it. We got you there.
I blame
All right.
Alec. I blame Alec. He's voted off the island.
Yes.
We'll move on here. Interesting one here. Worst PLE of the year. If you think about all the PLEs that have happened, whether you watch them or not.
Okay, so this is WWE restricted, right?
This is not WWE restricted in this case here.
Okay, well, you said PLE. That's why I asked.
Yes. Oh, right. PLE.
I got one.
PLE. You know what? We'll change that. Worst pay-per-view of the year. Let's just change that in this case here. So it could be any one of the wrestling programs that you've watched, if you have had a chance to watch it. So for me, I'm gonna give an honorable mention, and it's not now for in this case here for WWE. None of their PLEs were pretty bad. There were some that were weaker than most that were weaker than the others, but most of them were pretty strong in this case here. But for dishonorable mention, I guess in this case here, I'm gonna go with Clash at the Castle because I thought it was a little.
It was a pretty weak show.
It was underwhelming for the most part there, I would say. And then the only good thing that came out of it was that the Isla Dawn and Alba Fire win the tag titles, which is a surprise. And then of course the old thing, CM Punk little screw job there to Drew McIntyre. I mean, those are the only kind of cool things about that show. But otherwise, I found that show underwhelming for the most part. And yeah, but I mean, they did fine, but it wasn't amazing in this case here. But the worst event of the year, and I'm gonna say it because they always were hyping this for the longest time, but then it became a disappointment. I'm gonna go with All in the UK there at the ugly Wembley Stadium, where they said they were going to get another 80,000. It turns out there was only 40,000 people this time, so they got half of what they got.
And Ocean Spray got the fucking attendance on his arm.
Yeah, exactly. And then he got fucked over with that. And then the show was literally overwhelming for the most part, and like not a lot of people highlighted it to be per se in this case here. Sure, Ricochet came there, big deal. He lost his first match in AEW there. And then you had American Dragon there winning the championship that he really shouldn't have, but in this case here. But you know what? That's their problem there. And then if I'm not mistaken, he lost the 30,000. Exactly, almost 40,000. Exactly. So they literally got half of what they got from last year in this case here. And it was an underwhelming card for the most part. And then an underwhelming ending in this case here. So they could hype it all they want, but in reality, it sucked. It literally sucks in this case here. So those are my worst of the year for the PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call it. Chris, I'm going to pass it over to you.
I'm going to go off the wall on this one and say Bad Blood, I think, was the weakest for me. Outside of the Punk and Drew match, the rest of that card, I forgot. And The Rock taking a main event spot for a 5-second worthless moment really pissed me off. So I'll say Bad Blood was the weakest for me because I literally don't remember the rest of that card like at all.
Sure.
Okay. And obviously the given to All In because what Mariah May had her moment, but nobody remembers it. Nobody cares.
Yeah. No.
And Daniel Bryan winning at Wembley, I think, is a joke, but whatever.
Yeah. Then didn't he lose the title like a week after in this case here? Yeah. So
he lost at Full Gear?
Yeah, whatever it was. Yeah. Whatever that show was. But
I don't know. Trash either way.
All right. Yeah, exactly. Sean, your worst of the year.
Oh. I only have one, and it's All In. And it's All In. It's All In because you took your first black champion and you jobbed him out to Daniel Bryan so Daniel Bryan could get a fucking victory lap with his goddamn toy belt just to hand it off in a fucking stupid way. Homeboy got choked out by it was attempted murder. It was attempted murder, and you had a homeboy getting choked out There's a happy-go-lucky moment for Daniel Bryan, but it was a racist card for everybody else. And you held your show in the world's largest toilet bowl, which is Wembley Stadium. I mean, I was gonna say the world's largest toilet bowl is Pittsburgh Stadium, like the Steelers Stadium, but no, man, it's Wembley. Wembley sucks. Fuck you.
All right, there we go. Perfect. So there's
This is my heel turn.
All right. Our next category is disappointment of the year. So it could be anything from a moment to a superstar. In this case here, that you thought they could have done a lot better, or they you thought that maybe.
Oh, I already got mine.
What in it? So my disappointment in the year, and I did hint on that. I'm gonna go. My disappointment of the year is Santos Escobar, strictly because they started him with this heel turn back in November in a very, poetic way. I mean, what better way to get a heel turn than, attack Rey Mysterio, a beloved character to all of us in this case here, And he started off hot with this heel turn, but then I said it last week as well. The WrestleMania match he had with Dominic against Rey Mysterio and Andrade, the fact that they didn't get that win at WrestleMania kind of started his sort of downward spiral. Well, he's basically in no man's land right now in this case here.
Yep.
And I feel as though, yes, he's a good heel and all that, but we don't care right now for Legado del Fantasma. They're supposed to be this top heel faction on that roster in this case here. Like in NXT, they profile him as a god almost in this case here. And he has some high-profile matches there in NXT, but it's just ever since that loss at WrestleMania, I want Santos to do well. I want him near that mid-card level in this case here, but for some reason it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment.
So what you're saying is he's a Mexicant.
He's a Mexican. Oh my god, he's a Mexican. Yes, he's a Mexican. He's not a Mexican. I just got that. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, he's not riding in a lawnmower. He's riding in a golf cart in this case here. So, but
yes,
Kerwin White.
Yeah, he's riding in a Kerwin White. Yes, that's right, with Nick Nemeth as his caddy there. But yeah, that is my disappointment of the year. Yeah. That's my disappointment of the year. Chris, your disappointment of the year.
The CM Punk footage for AEW. There has been nothing in the entire universe.
Yeah.
From Hell in a Cell 2019 to the Sparklers match in AEW. Nothing has blown up in a company's face harder than the CM Punk footage choking Jack Perry's bitch ass out. Nothing.
Because it showed how much of a bitch ass hoe Jungle Boy Jack fucking Perry is.
That's right.
And Tony Khan.
Exactly. Yeah. And we find out that Jack Perry's not wearing the pants in his relationship with Anna Jay.
Oh.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Sean, your disappointment of the year.
I brought the microphone up for this one. AEW as a whole, because they're supposed to be an alternative, right? But when you book yourself as the alternative, listen up. When you book yourself as the alternative, you're bound to fucking fail, and that's exactly what is happening. We continue to see the ratings plummet. We continue, and look, I don't want them to fail. I don't.
No.
I think that it's good for everybody to have a different form of professional wrestling. But they have a fucking shot. Chris does. I don't. I want to see it. I know you do.
I know, Chris. You can put your hand down. We're good.
I don't want to see AEW fail. I want to see them be successful. But they have a child in charge of the company, and they fucking suck. Tied for second, is AEW and its fucking fans. if you're a fan of AEW
Mm-hmm.
and not a fan of AEW, sorry. We'll call them fanboys, or we will call them diehards, or try
All
hard.
wrestling, or they want all wrestling.
Yes. And you fail to see how bad AEW actually fucking is. I'm looking in the camera at you. You are the goddamn problem.
Retweet.
Oh my god, this is just
Hashtag
literally
heel turn.
are. Yeah, I think we're all unanimous, but this wasn't a category, but like the worst fan bases have got to be AEW fans. At all in this case.
It's sad. It's sad when the best thing in AEW is Kyle Fletcher, which is just a Ocean Spray ripoff. So that means he's second worst.
You mean the team?
You know what killed Kyle Fletcher? That fucking promo shaving his head ruined Kyle Fletcher.
Stupid.
I'm not Will Ospreay. I'm not Will Ospreay. I'm not Will Ospreay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh hey guys, by the way, he's not Will Ospreay.
Okay.
All right.
Next category.
Okay, next category. So this one's going to be an interesting. This one's actually going to be a funny one. Funniest botch of 2024. So any botch you've seen, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, whatever. In this case here, you can point it out. In this case here, but I've got. You want to go first? Yeah, what? Go ahead. What's your funniest botch of 2024?
Jack Perry knocking out Tony Khan.
That's one too. Here's the case. Let me put this out. Let me put this out to everybody who's watching in this case here. So
nobody.
Here's one thing you
worse
should
than that man.
Yeah, let's point this out here. If somebody punches you on the stomach, what's your first reaction? Do you tip over or do you just hold your stomach in this case here? You should be holding your stomach and like on your knees or something like that. Tony literally, he gets punched in the stomach and goes, ah!
This man turned into Woody when Andy came in the room.
It's bad when it's bad when he made Stone Cold giving Vince a stunner look like the Rock's fucking selling.
I know, exactly. And he did flop like this, like the Rock in this case here when he got punched in the stomach, but he goes, ah, instead of going, oh, in this case here. It's like,
here's one. Alec.
Tangaloa low blow. Oh, yeah.
We'll just say Tangaloa.
You could just say Tangaloa in general. Like, he's holding the belt when he has an eye patch and the belt's like the other way. All serious though, we hope you have a speedy recovery, man. I know a torn bicep is really bad, so yeah.
We hope you have a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
We just like making fun of you.
Yeah. I'm sure you're a good dude. I remember you riding a motorcycle, like a bicycle with Hunico there back in the day, so I remember that.
Cheeky man. What's your answer? Botch of the year.
Oh, he just said it, the Tony Khan thing.
Oh yeah, Tony Khan.
The Tony Khan. Yeah, that was mine too. He's exactly right,
bro. That shit is fucking hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. That guy's a joke.
That was hilarious there. And Sean, I'm guessing was Tom. What's yours?
No. Mine would have to be Darby Allin.
Darby Allin. Ooh,
just Darby Allin. Just Darby Allin.
Okay, Darby Allin in general. Okay, fine.
And Orange Cassidy. Just the two of them. Orange Cassidy are bad, but
yeah, that's true.
I'm just gonna say, we'll just say Darby Allin. I love Darby Allin. I love Darby Allin, but he is a botch machine, and he hurts himself, and he's stupid.
There you go. Okay. Well, we have three more. Or we have two more, and then we have our bold predictions after. So we'll get through this next one quickly here. The best comedic talent for 2024. I am gonna go with Carlito for 2024 because strictly his Judgment Day segments were just outstanding. from him saying, seeing, from his reactions to Liv Morgan, to when Dominic was getting stretched out by Liv Morgan, and he goes, and then Damian says, "It's not that hard," and then Carlito goes, "I don't know, it looks pretty hard to me." And then just him being like that comedic relief there was just outstanding. And then people were like, "Oh, Carlito's just a comedy, or now it's just a comedy. Like he should be Italian." No, he's in his right spot right now. He's in the card. He's yes, he's part of a group there, but he gets comic relief in this case here. Honorable mention, of course, goes to R-Truth because R-Truth just makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah, I gotta say R-Truth too.
Yeah, R-Truth. Yep.
I'm gonna say Alec. So it's best comedic act of the year. I would say R-Truth because of that Judgment Day promo he put out, where the video where he was a baby and he said that the first thing he said to the doctor was he's going to be in Judgment Day.
Oh,
and everything R-Truth does is so goddamn funny. I don't care who you are.
Him entering the women's Royal Rumble. When he entered it, I was like, "Oh no, that's his number!" And he the men's Royal Rumble, and he goes, "Where's the guys at?" And then he's talking to Adam Pearce. He's like, "You saying all those are women in there?" I'm like, "Whoa, pause there, bro."
And then the shit that he was doing with DIY and like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, where he was like, "Johnny Gargano, I knew you were gonna blow up." And it was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like HBK's like, "Hey there, buddy." Okay.
Oh my god. Oh yes, definitely.
R-Truth telling him he's sorry for kicking him out of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
He kept breaking Damian all the time. And like Damian's like, "I can't believe you're doing this again."
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my god, that was great. And then also those times when he was like the Royal Rumble and then the ladder match, he thought he was at a tag match, so he's like, "Give me the tag, give me the tag." And especially the ladder match at WrestleMania, he thought he got the pin with the in that ladder match, and then Vince like, "Oh, go up there." Oh my god, R-Truth, man. Oh
God, they better put that man in the hole.
Yeah, exactly. And then final category, worst moment of the year. So this is different from the disappointment of the year. This is basically any moment that has happened throughout the last 12 months here that you think was just basically absolutely terrible and just literally you wanted to literally throw your computer or whatnot in this case here. And Chris, I'm going to have you start this off here. What do you think your worst moment of the year was?
Worst moment of the year: Punk getting injured.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Although it did spark one of the best rivalries of this year, if not the rivalry of the year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, absolutely. Sean, your worst moment of the year?
This is a hard one.
Sorry, I keep going off camera. By the way, I'm trying to get ready. I gotta go.
You're good.
No problem.
No, come back to me, JR, because I'm sure
you're so I have mine here. It's basically that Swerve Hangman match from Blood and Guts or whatever that event was. It made me kind of think about my fandom as a wrestling fan, and it literally seeing the highlights there, or lowlights, I guess in this case here, and for me to kind of be disappointed of how they literally went 5 steps back instead of 5 steps forward. It literally questioned my fandom as a wrestling fan. So yeah, that's my worst moment of the year in this case.
Okay, I would say this Swerve winning the championship, and it's not because I didn't want to see him as a champion, but we said it on this show. Yeah. So we said it on this show, and we said that he's going to be a transitional champion for the next champion, and it's very unfortunate because Swerve, regardless as to where he's at, is a fucking amazing talent. I don't, they put him in a lose-lose situation where winning a championship just to drop it to somebody else, that has a bigger name, it does nothing for him. It hurts him, if anything, because now he's jobbing out to Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate, and like soon enough, it's going to be Hurt. It's going to be Ricochet, and then he's just going to fall down the totem pole. Like literally, this man ascended by beating former champions to get to the top, just for a handful of months later to fall right back down the card and descend and continue to descend. If they would have had him beat somebody like MJF, if they would have had, like, and I know MJF isn't very popular on here, but in that company he is, right? So if they had him beat, yeah, MJF, or if they had him beat like multiple world heavyweight champions, like Mock, or if they had, that would have made it so much better. But
he didn't beat anyone significant. Yeah,
no,
you're right.
he beat Hangman, bitch boy Hangman Page. Like,
yeah, that's it. There. All right. So those are our awards there, and then we're gonna end the show with our bold predictions for.
Wait, we got one more. We got a surprise, and this was
okay.
Alec wanted to know what your most emotional moment of the year was.
Cody winning the title.
Ooh, I think we're all in agreement on this one here. The White Six debut. I think.
That's here. We talked about that last week.
We did talk about that last week, yeah. This case here, but yeah, that moment, seeing the Wyatt Six just appear, it just brought back a lot of memories. And then also their first entrance, official entrance with Shatter, it brought back a lot of memories. With this entrance with Howdy, yep, exactly that too. It's just everything that brought up to that point where we heard Shatter play on the stage, the arena there. And then after it's it just brings back a lot of memories and makes me miss Bray a lot in this case here. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the White Six debut, getting everything that came to it.
My grandma just got here. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
We'll continue. So mine would have to be the Bray Wyatt documentary. Because it came out right around WrestleMania. Literally, I watched it and then went to WrestleMania.
Nice.
And then, that fucked me up. And then going, and when they were playing the preview for it in the stadium at WrestleMania both nights, I teared up. And it moved, Bray Windham is the reason why we do this, and our love for pro wrestling. So, yeah, definitely that was my moment, my moment of fucking most. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's definitely emotional there. Absolutely. So I'll just get to the last one here. So our bold predictions for this upcoming year. Do you have a bold prediction that's upcoming for this year?
Yes. I think we're going to see the beginning of another historic title reign from Roman. And I think it's going to. I hope not either, but I think that we will. And I think that the person that wins the Rumble is not going to be somebody that we talked about on the show. I think it's going to be a surprise.
I think I'm still standing by Cena.
You're still standing by Cena? Okay.
I think he makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bray. Yes. Yeah.
And I have a feeling that Goldberg's going to go over Gunther.
Over Gunther? Yeah. I don't think they should do one match.
Do you think they should have a program? Goldberg and Gunther?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right.
Because if you're gonna put Goldberg over, you got to get the title off of Gunther first. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I think they should have Gunther be in the chamber to defend his title, lose it, and then at WrestleMania, Gunther Goldberg.
Yeah, he's in the chamber defending it, and Goldberg's music hits in it, and it distracts him and he loses.
Yeah, ooh, that could be interesting.
But I gotta hop out of here, boys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, sounds good. JR,
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. JR, what's your bold prediction?
So I have 2 bold predictions here. Number 1, I feel AEW is going to move to smaller venues going forward. I think they need to stop with these bigger venues, and they'll at some point they'll start going to like gym halls or whatever the smaller venues they can afford in this case here, because they need to do it in order for them to sustain their life cycle. And then we were talking about Cena there. So my prediction for Cena, I think somehow they're going to have his last match with Kurt Angle. Why don't you in this case here, you started with Kurt Angle versus John Cena to start his career. Why don't you have? I think Kurt Angle is going to train to a point where he can go do one more match, and it will be against John Cena. And then finish it off with John Cena, and then that's basically comes full circle.
Double retirement match.
But a retirement match, yes. In this case here,
that would be good.
And then it happens in the same location wherever they're at. So hopefully they have a SmackDown in the same location, and then you have those two fight.
Or a PLE in the same location.
Or a PLE in the same location, yeah, for sure.
Gee,
for sure.
That's a bold one. Yeah, that was a good guy. This is a packed show.
This was very packed. Yes.
So, anyways, they tried to sell at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and they got moved to the Wolfstein.
Yep, exactly. See, that's the thing. You got to stop going to these bigger stadiums. If you could only fit 2,000 out of an 18,000, just move to one that can actually fit 2,000. Make the presentation better.
Absolutely. Jesus. All right. Well, that is our show. Alec, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I know it was a long show. We talked about a lot, but next week we are going to be doing the same thing, same time. And JR, what are you excited for in this coming week?
Just what's officially the build of Royal Rumble now. So we'll see how they start the build here in this case here. Although they may kind of hold back because I think they want to hold back until Netflix in this case here. And then of course they could have roster changes at that point. So who knows in this case here. So I'm actually looking forward to that. I've got a full week of work this week finally after being off a couple of weeks. So hopefully that should go by quickly. And and then getting ready for the holidays here.
Sick. Same, man. Same. I don't have much going on this week, so I'm just going to be relaxed. I'm playing a ton of Minecraft.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's my game. But all right. Oh, Lions to win the Super Bowl. We'll see. I don't watch football.
We'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah.
But
I got a big match today against Buffalo.
Until next week, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you next week. Much love. Deuces.
Deuces.